कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकि कोकिलम्। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताया पतये नमः। जयत्याश्रितसन्त्रास ध्वान्तविध्वंसनोदयः प्रभावान् सीतया देव्या परमव्योमभास्करः परमव्योमभास्करः।
श्रीमते निगमान्त महादेशिकाय नमः। With the permission granted by the Samudra Raja, because Rama wanted to be very, very sensitive to Mother Nature. The ocean king has to give permission. So he religiously did Prayopavesham. Towards the end of it, Samudra Raja arrived. Of course, he arrived late. Rama got angry. Nevertheless, Samudra Raja arrived saying, Pahimam, Pahimam. Rama forgave him. And then with the permission of Samudra Raja, who asked that Nana be the architect, because he is the aspect of Vishwakarma, the setu has to be constructed between Bharatadesham and Lanka. That said, the setu was to be constructed. So, in a span of 5 days, 14, 20, 21, 22, 23 yojanas, 100 yojanas in length, 10 yojanas wide. You know, the beauty is, the current day setu that we see between Bharatadesham and Lanka is 35 kilometers long, 3.5 kilometers wide. 35 kilometers is to 3.5 is 10 is to 1. What does Ramayanam say? Shatayojana, 100 yojanas long, 10 yojanas wide. 100 is to 10 is 10 is to 1. 35 kilometers is to 3.5 kilometers is 10 is to 1. So even the numbers are matching. That's it. Now all the Vanaras, they go around the Lanka Pradesham and it appears as if a second golden prakaram was formed. That's it. Shuka and Sharana. The Shuka and Sharana, they tried advising Ravana, give back Sita. These people have arrived. Death is at your doorstep. Give back Sita. Will Ravana listen? He said, you go as spies and check what is happening on Rama's side, because Rama had camped in the outskirts of Lanka. So, they disguised themselves as Vanaram and go. Vibhishana, who was very adept in catching such people, caught them and said, here are these Vanaras. They are not Vanaras, they are Rakshasas, Rama. So that is when Rama laughed and said, Shuka and Sharana, you must be very tired. We will offer you some food. Have good food and leave. Shuka and Sharana were let go. They were let free. So Shuka and Sharana go and inform Ravana as to how well guarded their entire army of Vanara Sainyam is. That's it. What Ravana does is very, very petty. So power and education doesn't make a person very mature. What he does is, he calls a trick master, a magician of those days called Vidyut Jikwa, and says, please create Rama's head. Make a specimen that represents Rama's head, takes that Rama's head and keeps it in front of Sita and says, see, your husband is dead, I killed him. When Sita starts crying, that is when Vibhishana's wife Sharama comes to that place and says, don't even trust my husband's eldest brother Ravana. He can do any tricks while the Yuddham itself has not begun. How will he be able to kill Rama? All this is a trick to demotivate you, Sita. Do not fall for this. So, Vibhishana Patni, there Vibhishana was motivating Rama. Here, Vibhishana Patni, who was of a similar nature, was motivating Sita. Meanwhile, Malyavan, one of the ministers to Ravana, advises Ravana to go in peace with Rama. He says, at least now, decide. We'll somehow settle scores and we will not move ahead. People will die. We don't know. Death will come on which side more. Ravana, you should agree for peace and settle for peace. Meanwhile, while Ravana refuses to accept Malyavan's idea, Vibhishana's 4 friends, you remember, Chaturpihi Saharakshasaihi, they go in the form of birds to the interior Lanka Pradesham, check what is the situation, ground situation, and get back to Rama's camp and say, see, Vibhishana says, Rama, all the 4 gates, north, south, east, west, the gates that lead you to the fortress, the inner part of the fortress of Lanka, they have all been well guarded. They are all well guarded is what my spies say. That is when Rama says, I order all the Vanara Sainyam to go storm the gates from all the 4 directions. Let them barge open into the fortress and get inside. Rama climbs atop the Suvela Parvatam. He gets at the top of the Suvela Parvatam because he said, I will not get into a city. My father has asked me to stay in the forest for 14 years. I will stay in the forest. I will not get into the city. As he stands atop the Suvela Parvatam to check how Lanka is, at that point in time, Ravana, he also comes outside his palace and sees from the balcony, the gazebo, he looks at the Suvela Parvatam. That is when, while Rama was seeing Ravana and Ravana seeing Rama, something very disturbing happens. Sugriva jumps boulder to boulder, cliff to cliff, and jumps on Ravana, pounces on him. Lokanathasya Ramasya Sakha Dasosmi Rakshasa Namaya Mokshase Sedhya Tvam Parthivendrasya Tejasa. You are the one who is disturbing my great friend and leader called Rama by abducting his wife. I will teach you a lesson. He starts scratching him with the nails, starts biting him, takes away that crown that Ravana was sporting and heads back to Suvela Parvatam where Rama was. He was expecting Rama to say, Sugriva, you have done a wonderful job, Sugriva. I am very happy with you. This was what Sugriva was expecting. When Sugriva came with that particular Kritam, Rama said, Sugriva, what kind of a foolish activity have you done? Please note that had I lost you, if Ravana had killed you by mistake, what is the use of me uniting with Sita? What is the use of me getting back the kingdom from the clutches of Ravana if he were to kill you? Idanim kritha veera evam vidhamarindama tvaikinchit samapanne kim karyam sitaya mama bharatena mahabhavo lakshmanena yaviyasa shatrughanena cha shatrughna swasharirena va punaha. So Rama clearly tells that without you, Sugriva, there is no use in me obtaining that Rajya. This cord of friendship that Rama has with Sugriva is mentioned by the Tamil poet Kamban. Kundru Sholvan Maganudan Aruvarano Maitri Bhavam. That element of friendship is what is mentioned here. Something very unique about Rama throughout this passage, where he gives Abhaya Pradhanam to Vibhishana, where he constructs the setu, shows his Raudra for a second when the Samudra Raja does not turn up to give him permission to construct the setu. All this proves that he is a part of the creation, the sustenance and the dissolution processes. We say through Ramanujacharya's verse, Akhila Bhuvana Janmasthema Bhanga Adinive. So these 3 processes in Sanatana Dharma, in the Agama worship, are done by 3 deities: Sankarshana, Pradyumna and Aniruddha. These 3 murtis, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, emerge from the Moolamurti called Paravasudeva. So Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. These namas come in Sahasranamam. Aniruddho, Apratirataha, Pradyumno, Amita Vikramaha. So these four murtis, Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, give rise to three murtis. So 3 into 4 is 12. That is why during Sandhya Vandanam we say Keshavaya, Narayanaya, Madhavaya, Govindaya, Vishnave, Madhusudanaya, Trivikramaya, Vamanaya, Sridharaya, Trishikeshaya, Padmanabhaya, Damodaraya. So we have 12 Vyuha Murtis from the 4 Murtis. 12 plus 4, 16. If you see in my background is a beautiful stone sculpted and cut panel found in the outskirts of Bangalore in a place called Omtara Kala Kutira. All the murtis that you see depict Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha from Vasudeva, 4 branching out into 3 each, which is 4 into 3, 12 murtis. So this divine form of Rama, this Paratvam, that quality that Rama displayed and showcased throughout these episodes in Yuddha Kandam, has been time and again venerated and elucidated by our Acharyas. That's it. Here, as Sugriva brings the crown back to Rama, Rama reprimands him and says, this is not the way. There is a method to even carry out a message to our foe. Here, the case being Ravana. I shall send the youngest person, the most adept and valorous of all, called as Angada, Valiputra, as my Dota. Earlier, Anjana's son Anjaneya Swami went. Let Valiputra Angada do the job. So Angada happily becomes the messenger of Rama, goes to the court of Ravana. And there he says, Dutoham Kosalendrasya Ramasya Klishta Karmanaha Valiputro Nama Yadite Shrotrama. I am Vali's son Angada. I have come as a messenger of Rama seeking peace. Do you think all these peace messages will work with Ravana, who is filled with ego and arrogance? It will not work. So Ravana said, I send you back. He rebuked, humiliated Angada, like how he rebuked and humiliated Hanuman. Now the Yuddham began. Rama killed. I am going to condense about 4,000 verses now in a few minutes. Rama killed Durdharsha, Mitraghna, Agniketu, Yajñakopana. Nila, the Vanara Nila, he killed Nikumbha. Shushena killed Vidyunmali. Now looking at so many people die, Indrajit released his Nagastra. That Nagastram came and attacked all these people in Rama Sainyam. Adrishyo Nishitarganan Mumocha Shinivarchasaha Ramam cha Lakshmanam chaiva Gorair Nagamayai Sharaihi. Indrajit thought, all these people are dead, and he left that place. Ravana arranged for a chariot and brought Sita to the battlefield and said, see, all these people are dead. Oh, you thought they will be protecting you, they are all dead. What will you do now? Sita started shedding copious tears. She thought, she lost hope. Then she laments. O churlakshanika yema putrinya vidhe veticha tedya sarve hate rame jnanino dritavadinaha. All those elderly people who blessed me during the marriage said that you shall live for many years together with Rama, happily Sita. Have all those wishes, that those blessings that they pronounced on me turn so very infutile. They are so futile, they have not worked. What do I do now? As she cries and leaves this place, the Nagastam, the snakes with virulent poison, had tied all these Vanaras, Rama and Lakshmana up. That is when they all wonder if Vibhishana could help. Sugriva assures them something has to be done. Jambavan says, I think we may have to get some medicinal herbs. While they were all brainstorming as to what could be the solution, somebody arrived at that spot. Somebody who could relieve all of them of the Nadastra Prayogam. Who was he? More in the next episode.
Dear Astika reader, I am happy to be authoring a 2-part book on the Ramayana in English. The first part is slated for release in the year 2024. The book aims to recreate and retell the Ramayana of Valmiki, conforming to the ancient commentaries and other allied literature. To receive notifications of the book release, kindly register with www.deshikadaya.org/books. Namaskaram.